Venus, our closest planetary neighbor, gleams brightly in the night sky. But beneath its beautiful clouds lies a hellish world, far hotter than Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun. What makes Venus such a scorching inferno? You might think that the planet closest to the Sun would be the hottest, and you wouldn't be wrong if you were talking about Mercury. Mercury is closer to the Sun, and its day side reaches extreme temperatures of around 800 degrees Fahrenheit. But Mercury doesn't have a substantial atmosphere to speak of, so that heat has nowhere to stay. It radiates back out into space pretty quickly. Venus, on the other hand, is farther away from the Sun, but it has a thick atmosphere that traps heat very efficiently. In fact, Venus's surface temperature averages a mind-boggling 900 degrees Fahrenheit. So, what's going on here? Why is Venus so hot? Venus's atmosphere is about 90 times the pressure of Earth's atmosphere, and it's mostly made up of carbon dioxide, over 96%, with only a small amount of nitrogen. This thick, CO2-rich atmosphere acts like a dense blanket, trapping the sun's heat very efficiently. You see, some sunlight actually does penetrate the clouds of Venus and warm the surface. But the thick carbon dioxide atmosphere prevents this heat from radiating back out into space. This creates a runaway greenhouse effect, and as more and more heat gets trapped, the temperature rises even higher. Now, this greenhouse effect is a natural process that also occurs on Earth. If our atmosphere suddenly became as thick and dense as Venus's, Earth's average temperature would soar to around 330 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to roast a nice piece of chicken. But Venus's temperature is much higher than that. And that's because Venus has a lot more carbon dioxide in its atmosphere than Earth. In addition to its proximity to the Sun, Venus has experienced extensive volcanic activity throughout its history. These volcanoes have likely spewed vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, along with other gases that could have contributed to the runaway greenhouse effect. Finally, unlike Earth, Venus has very little water. Any oceans that may have existed on Venus billions of years ago probably evaporated long ago. And water vapor, being a greenhouse gas itself, could have further trapped heat on Venus. Without water to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, the greenhouse effect has spiraled out of control on Venus, turning our seemingly close neighbor into an uninhabitable furnace. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.